Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is Israel. Is there about to be war in Israel? What do the prophets say? What do the prophecies say? Is there about to be war in Israel? So that's what we're going to be talking about. All right, as you are all aware, we just, actually, President Trump just recognized Jerusalem as the capital, and he, as of, a couple of days ago, just moved our embassy to Jerusalem. The Jews love it. And Hamas, which, by the way, Hamas means violence, Hamas hates it. And there's all kinds of people causing all kinds of problems, throwing rocks and burning tires on the Israeli border there at Gaza. So a big problem. And we know that Obama basically cursed Israel, caused the UN to vote against it. We're going to talk about that. And as a result, a lot of earthquake tremors took place in those days. We're not going to talk about that. So what is going on? Well, Genesis 12:3 says, I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So you never want to go against Israel. You never want to be against Israel. Hamas is angry, protesting, throwing rocks. But our question today is war about to break out in Israel? So let's first go to Sundar Selvaraj. April 30, 2014. He says, and by the way, I'm skinning this down. We're just getting to the major part about Israel. They've said other things, and I'm going to cut out those parts. We're just going to talk about what they prophesied for Israel. Anyway, he was told in 1948 Israel got her independence, and as soon as she became a state, she faced war. 1967, Israel fought another war called the Six-Day War. And she regained many of the lost Israeli lands. Most importantly, they regained East Jerusalem for the first time in 2,000 years. Jerusalem was divided into the East and West, and it was then reunited. Then in this particular vision, he saw the number 2017 written, and the angel Michael said, another major war is planned. A major change in shift in government and land for Israel is coming. Then on March 11th, 2015, he was told, 70 years in the history of Israel is very, very important. There's going to come a turning point in the history of Israel in the year 2017. That will be the 70th year in the history of Israel since its formation. 70 years is ending or coming to a close. So what will befall Israel and the nations of the world when the 70 years of covenant ends? He says that he was told that Israel will go through another captivity, and he asked, how can that be possible? All right, now let's pause just a second. You heard, as I heard, that this major war was, he thought, the way they were saying it, was planned for 2017. Well, here we are in 2018. If you've been listening to the broadcasts lately, I've been saying that a lot of the prophecies that were really prophesied to come to pass, I think that they kind of hinged on Hillary Clinton. If we had voted in Hillary Clinton, we would probably already be in martial law, and we would be rapidly moving toward the fall of America and the rise of a world government. However, because we, and obviously by the hand of God, put Donald Trump in, we voted in a more righteous man. I said more righteous. I didn't say totally righteous. A more righteous man. I think we've been given more time. I think everybody will agree that we've been giving more time. So I don't think the prophecies have been removed, but I do think it is safe to say that they have been softened and delayed. Now, what does that say? It says that war in Israel is not coming to 2017, but it did not say it was not coming in 2018. With what we see going on in Israel right now, Israel may very well be about ready to go into another war. So with that assumption, let's go on. Then December 23rd, 2016, this is also Selvaraj said, he saw that the United States passed a resolution to divide Jerusalem into two states. Then on November 29th, 1947, when the United Nations planned the state of Israel at that time, they divided Israel into two states, the state of Israel and the state of Palestine. But it has been delayed, and now they're pushing to make it happen. They have passed a resolution that in 2017, I hope you heard that, 2017, that Israel should be divided into a Palestinian state and a state of Israel. All this time, the U.S. has been a friend and a protector of Israel. 70 years later, the two-state plan has not been implemented, although it has been discussed often. Then, now hang on, we're making a point here. Then Sundar Selvaraj again, August 10, 2016, he says, this is what I was told. Trump will become the next president. He will be used to clean and purify the nation. As hard as he is, he's been prepared for this. As Cyrus was used to discipline Israel and then restore Israel, likewise, Trump will be used in the United States. He'll be used to curb violence. He will be God's mouthpiece and hand for this nation. Now, summarizing all that, it could be saying that Israel is about to go into some kind of a war. The question is this the big one that involves America and then Russia about to attack? Well, guys, it could be. I mean, we cannot eliminate it because right now, with as much anger and frustration, I mean, there's war between the Democrats and Republicans going on right now. I mean, on the one hand, we have Robert Mueller trying to take down the president, and on the other hand, we have, what's his name? Nance, I think it is, that he's attacking the Department of Justice, saying you've got to give us all of those FISA warrants, all of that information. You've got to give us the information, show us how you even started this investigation. So there's war going on in our government right now. But hang on, let's go on. There's some other things the prophets are saying here. We're going to get an idea today, though. January 8th, 2017, Patricia Green prophesied. She says, I have a message for the Israelis. War is coming soon, very soon. It appears this war will be short-lived. After the war, Donald Trump will help build Jerusalem, and he will be instrumental in building the temple. Well, I hate to disagree with her there, but they aren't going to build the temple again. As you recall, 40 and 6 years they were building the temple the first time. Now, of course, we could build it faster than that today, but the point is, Daniel 11:45 says, and he shall set his tabernacles between the seas and the holy mountains. I've done research into this, and actually I do not believe they will build the temple again. I do not believe the Antichrist will sit in the temple again, because the word for temple can also be the word tabernacle. When I talked to Ron White, he said when he found the Ark of the Covenant inside that same cave, he also found the tabernacle of Moses. And I said, Tabernacle of Moses? Well, that'd be old and dilapidated, probably just fall apart in your hands as you touch it. He said, nope. He said it was made of lamb's wool. As good today as the day Moses put it into that cave. He said, and when they pull the Ark of the Covenant out, they're also going to pull out that tabernacle, and they will lay it down on the ground, and probably, just as the Spirit of God entered into it and it stood up by its own accord, and then when they were ready to move, they got everything out of it and stood away from it, and it fell back down according to its own accord. In other words, that's one of the miracles that took place. The power of God held up the tabernacle. And he believed that when the Ark of the Covenant was brought out, that they will also bring out the tabernacle. And I do not know that that's what's going to happen with the Ark of the Covenant, but I do believe it's going to be a tabernacle, not a temple. But that does not take away with the rest of the prophecy that Patricia Green came out with, because it's tabernacle and temple, okay? Whether it's made of stone, whether it's made of wool, lamb's wool, irrelevant. The point is the same. Let's go on to the next one, though. Once again, Patricia Green, the United States of America is a whelp. I gave her birth to be an ally of Israel. The United States will decrease and Israel will increase in the end. At the end of the age, there will be no greater nation, and I agree with her, and that's what the prophecies of the Bible say, no greater nation on the earth than Israel. I will cause events to happen that will diminish the power and influence of America. Well, that's easy because we know from several chapters in Daniel that there's a world government coming. You can't have a world government with America in place. You got to have America fall in order to be a world government, because America is the wall standing between them and their world government. Now, yes, it is the evil ruling elite and their idea and their plan, they think. But we know that Daniel chapter 2 says that God, and also Revelation, says that God will put on their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their power unto the beast until the words of God should be fulfilled. So they think world government's their idea. Wrong. Wrong. God is putting it into the evil elite's heart to form a world government for his plans. And the conclusion will be when the whole world army comes down to attack little Jerusalem, and that's when Jesus returns in the air, and as the lightning shineth even from the east unto the west, so will show the coming of the Son of Man be. That's the morning star when he is cutting the tares to pieces, burning them. Okay, let's go on to the next one, though. Then, January of 2016, Pastor Massey, I had a dream that I met Donald Trump. He was very frustrated because he was treated very unfairly. I prayed with him and encouraged him not to worry. The Lord began showing me that although this man is not too much of a Christian, he is God's man, chosen for this hour to bring America around. Then, by the way, I agree with him. The Lord impressed upon me to be praying for him because many people, even of his own party, hate him so much that they would do anything to stop him. They would even go so far as to remove him from the face of the earth. And he's like King Cyrus. Okay, there's a lot of people that says he's like King Cyrus, and I believe them. I agree with them. He's like King Cyrus. As he was helping the Israelites to build the temple, God showed me that this is the man he has chosen to help the people of Israel, especially the Christians, and to delay, did you hear that? To delay, did you hear that? To delay the judgment. Doesn't mean these people that prophesied these things that were going to be hitting us back in 2015, doesn't mean they were wrong. Doesn't mean they're false prophets. Don't call them false prophets. Be praising the Lord. He delayed it. Okay, to delay the judgment, which God is going to bring by allowing the other nations from Russia and the Orient to attack the United States. War in Israel will come soon. Let me read it again. War in Israel will come soon. That's the second person saying soon. And Israel will get back their land. Now, I can show you several verses in the Bible that says Israel is going to get back all of their land. And that's from the Euphrates all the way over to the Nile, probably including all of Saudi Arabia. And they're going to be the number one oil producer in the world by far. We're going to see the believers, both Christians and Jews, from massive amounts, millions, from around the globe move to Israel. Israel will be at that time the wealthiest, strongest, richest nation on earth. She will get back all of her land. She will emerge World War III, the great victor. On to the next prophecy. This is an 800-year-old prophecy that says Israel will lose control of Jerusalem this year, but get it back. Rabbi, and I'm just reading part of it, Ben Judah Samuel lived in the 12th century and consecrated his life to God. He wrote the following prophecy in 1217, which was so far proven to be accurate with only the final part of it remaining to be fulfilled, which I'm going right to the main part. The Ottomans conquer Jerusalem. They will rule over Jerusalem for 8 jubilees. Afterwards, Jerusalem will become a no man's land for 1 jubilee, and then in the 9th jubilee, it will once again come back into the possession of the Jewish nation, which would signify the beginning of the Messianic end time. Jerusalem will remain under the control of the Jewish nation until the 10th jubilee. Now, the Bible says that once Israel is back in their land, as they are today, that they will never be defeated or uprooted again. So I don't care. And the Bible says, I can give you another example. The Bible says that it doesn't make any difference who comes against Israel, they'll all be defeated. Israel will remain the great victor of the last days, and nobody can overcome Israel. They, in my opinion, they are the greatest military, not because they have the greatest military, but because they have the greatest God behind them. November 30th, 2011. I was fasting and praying for 3 days, and I saw an open vision. This is Salvarez again. A mighty angel with a drawn sword appeared before me and said, Israel will betray her closest friend, and the nation that would betray her, that would be America. The same fate will happen to her. I saw a map of the United States. And by the way, there's 2 people that have seen almost the same vision. A map of the United States appeared before the angel. And the angel pulled back his sword and stuck it into the center of the United States and said, the nation that will be responsible for dividing the land of Israel will likewise be separated into 2. Now, I don't think Trump's going to do that, but it could be that he's talked into it. And so I'm not going to rule that out, but at this point, I don't think that that is in the immediate future. Matter of fact, again, Trump could change his mind, but right now I don't see that happening. I see that if it happens, and I think that's one of those pray against to stop it things. Matter of fact, on the issue of America being divided, as this prophecy says it will be, it's a warning, okay? Let me say it again, I don't think that that'll happen. I don't think America will be divided. And the reason I say that is because Bree Keaton, when she was lifted up by two angels and taken up in the air and she was shown the Russian attack of America, did not see America divided. Dimitri Duduman, when he saw the Russians attack America, did not see America divided. Henry Gruver, when he was shown the Russians attacking us with nuclear weapons, did not see America divided, as in like a great giant divide down the middle of America, where America had been split into two nations right down the middle, top to bottom. Meaning that the whole meteor thing that was given to Prophet Ephraim Rodriguez, I do believe that was God speaking, but I believe that it is a warning, one that we can pray away. So continue to pray that there will not be a time when any American president will demand that Israel split. Now, we do know that Joel 3:2 says, they part my land. Okay, so Israel will be separated. However, if we can just get our nation to not be the hand that does it, then we don't have to be split. Now, if Israel decides to split themselves, fine. Just want to make certain that it's not America forcing it. We don't be the one twisting the arm. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now, I already told you about this, that I heard the audible voice of God say, let me back up. It wasn't audible. This particular part of it was not audible. It spoke to my heart, but it was so clear. I mean, I heard words, it's so clear, I got up and went in and started researching it. But what I heard is the song of Moses is not a song. Well, I knew that. It's a prophecy. Now, it's about a chapter long, but in just these 10 or 15 words here, I'm going to summarize that chapter because, A, I believe that Moses is one of the two witnesses, and I'll talk about that. I've made a whole DVD on that before, but we'll move on past that. Matter of fact, I can tell you the two witnesses are not Moses and Elijah. They're not Enoch and Elijah. They are Moses and John the Revelator. Those are the two witnesses. A topic for another day. Anyway, Song of Moses is about to play, and that fits in with Israel here. Here's the summary of what the Song of Moses is. That in the latter days, God will speak. And it tells about why God judged Israel. God will scatter Israel. God will remember, find, gather, and bless Israel. God will use crude oil to raise Israel up to be the glory of all lands. In other words, the number one wealthiest land on the earth. And this will happen near the day of the Lord, which is near, I believe. Many will turn to the rock, meaning Jesus. Jesus will return as judge. Of course, his name is the righteous judge. Jesus will destroy Israel's enemies, meaning Armageddon. Now, let's go on to Dimitri Duduman. And this is only a few sentences from this particular dream or vision. November 22, 1995, it's called Israel in America. Again, our topic today is what is coming for Israel. Is Israel about to go to war? What do the prophets say? When I looked up, I saw a black emblem on which there was gold writing, and it said, Israel, you dishonor me, you mock me, you trust in the powers of men. Because you will not turn to me, I have this against you, and I will punish you with great fury. This is also to purify some who want to call on me with a clean heart. The shame and the blasphemy that they have caused has reached heaven. Now let's jump to June 17, 1996. This is also Dimitri Duduman, and this is from the dream called Future of Israel. I said, who are you? And why do you cry? I asked. I am Jesus Christ, and I'm looking over my blood relatives and my people for whom I gave my life. Their sins have put a wall between God and themselves. God has decided to bring back all the scattered people from the nations. And instead of thanking God for watching over them and giving them safe passage, they have become even more wicked than they were in the nations they left. I'm crying because of the tribulation that is to overcome them. They say they keep the Sabbath, but they don't. They say they keep my laws, but they don't. All the nations of the world have their eyes on this place, thinking that this place, talking about Israel, is holy. They come to seek holiness and to see an example in this place. But this place is not holy. It has become defiled. Because of this, God has decided to take peace from this country. They do not trust in the peace God provides, but seek to make their own peace. God can no longer stand their sins. Because of their wickedness, look and see how punishment will come to Israel. Okay, so when Israel is invaded, he's about to tell you how it all happens. He said, I saw a cloud of airplanes in formation from the left, pointing to Golan Heights, and a large army coming from a corner pointed to Yarmouk River Valley, with every kind of weapon. They had horses, carriages, cars, tanks, and soldiers on foot. I began to hear screaming from my right, and I asked, can't you stop this? Until they passed through hard times, they would not recognize me as God, and will not call upon me for help. Now we jump to April 15, 2002, Prophet Leslie Johnson, my wife. She was told in a dream that I'm going to summarize here into a few points. Arafat would go into the hospital. Now, at the time, that was a very big prophecy for her to put out to all of our supporters out on the internet, because at the time, Arafat, April 15, 2002, wasn't allowed outside of his compound. Yet Leslie was told he was going to die in the hospital. Well, about 2 years later, 11/11/04 at 3:30 a.m., Arafat died in the hospital just as she was told, which means this prophecy is confirmed. This one is not a warning prophecy. This is not one that's going to go away or won't be fulfilled. This one is a guaranteed prophecy. And it said, Israel would give the Palestinians a state. The Palestinian state would be a temporary measure to allow the Israelis time to strengthen the military. Now, I believe that this is telling us that this is talking about the big war. This is talking about the war when Israel is attacked and then Russia attacks America. Well, Israel is attacked. We're going to cover that. Israel will be attacked. Then we'll send troops, and then Russia attacks us. That's the fall of America. Hopefully, the war in Israel is not leading to the fall of America, but it could be. I mean, face it. Internal revolution, it started, guys. There is nothing standing between us and but a few more prophecies which could very well be ready to happen. In other words, the fall of America could very well be happening in the next year or two. Could very well happen by 2020. I did not say a date when America would fall. I didn't do it. Don't put words in my mouth. Let's go back. So Arafat will go into the hospital. Israel will give the Palestinians a state. A Palestinian state will be a temporary measure to allow the Israelis time to strengthen the military. Then oil will be discovered in Israel. The oil will make the Jews willing to fight for the land. Then Israel and America will go against most of the rest of the Arab world, meaning that's probably talking about World War III. Now let's jump to the next one. January 22, 2006, this is the order Leslie heard these headlines leading to the fall of America. But I want to stress, this is not necessarily the order in which they'll happen. This is what she heard. She heard Israel refuses help to America. Omer ushers in Palestinian state. Catastrophe hits America. One of America's greatest times of need. Israel refuses help to America. Israel is attacked. America sends troops. Chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel. Then she said she heard my voice quoting Dmitry Duduman, the fall of America would start with an internal revolution. She saw that Americans became furious. They were mad at the U.S. government, mad at Jews, mad at Muslims. They were mad at everything. Some of the people started fighting against the government, and all of it happened. Now, let me point out a couple of things about Israel. If you'll notice, it says here that Israel will give the Palestinians a state. That hasn't happened. So the big war can't happen yet. So, in conclusion, what I want to believe is that what is going on in Israel right now won't lead to World War III, won't lead to America getting attacked by the Russians, not yet. I want to believe that this is a small skirmish, something. It would be nice if they could get back all of the land of this particular grab. I don't know how that's all going to work out, but let's put it this way. I think it's a very high probability that what is going on in Israel right now could lead to some kind of what I hope will be a short skirmish, a short war. It would be nice if Israel could get back all of their land, but I really see that probably happening in World War III at this point. Probably if there is a war, and I don't have anybody that has given any kind of a prophecy right now that has convinced me that this is a short war, that this is it, and what is really going to happen. I think at this point we just don't have enough information. However, what we'd like to see and what we pray see is that Israel would have some kind of a short war, should get back at least part of her land now, hopefully all of it, and that Israel would be blessed. Now, let me also say, folks, we really encourage you to go to watchprophecyclub.com and sign up and be part of the Prophecy Club. You know, this is called Prophecy Club. Normally, you join a club. We never have asked people to do that, but now we're asking people to do that. $200 will get you a 1-year subscription. You can watch all of the Prophecy Club DVDs for a year, or you can sign up $20 a month. Really, really good deal. Go to watchprophecyclub.com and it will tell you all about it. We exist because of your prayers and your financial gifts. So when it comes time for your giving, would you remember Prophecy Club? We do need your gifts. We struggle constantly, and we don't have the finances that we really need to have to be reaching the people that we need to be reaching, as we all know that we are running out of time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your gifts of support. God bless. Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. The Watchman's Trumpet will allow you to gift free coupons to friends to watch Prophecy Club DVDs online. They get saved, and it counts toward your book of works, because it was done in cooperation with the Prophecy Club. When you donate for Watchman's Trumpet, end your gift in a 7, and we'll give you 20% extra viewing credits for helping create the program. The cost to write the program ranges from $70,000 to $150,000 from 2 to 6 months to write. Once Watchman's Trumpet is online, you can set up your account for $1 and get 4 credits, or you may choose a larger block of credits. You can immediately begin to watch any Prophecy Club DVD or send out free gift coupons to others. Send your best gift to prophecyclub.com now to help us write the program. Make the last digit of your donation a 7, and we'll give you 20% extra viewing credits in the new Watchman's Trumpet program when it comes online. At prophecyclub.com, prophecyclub.com, Watchman's Trumpet. Dr. Bree Keaton just made a brand new DVD, and I love it. It's called Is Trump or Patrick Henry? Now, it's not a political talk. Bree's mother was a descendant of the patriot Patrick Henry. She reveals shocking, never-released private family records and bloodlines and gives you the true story of how God used Patrick Henry to save America. Dr. Bree holds 2 doctorates, prayer walked 50 countries spanning 6 continents, but what she does in this talk is lift your spirits, encourages you. To me, I think she helped me to see more clearly where we are and where we're going, because most of history has already repeated itself. And those that don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. I promise you will like this DVD. Is Trump by Patrick Henry? Gift of $30, prophecyclub.com. Matter of fact, I think they got a gift offer going on it now. Is Trump by Patrick Henry? prophecyclub.com.
The Prophecy Club is on the tip of God's spear. Join the battle and prayerfully consider supporting the Prophecy Club with your gifts of support. We would not be here without your prayers and generous financial support.